Welcome to Taking Action. I'm Chris Colombo. With me is Anthony Conover. And we got a real good show for you and some updates, things we're going to do. It was a very, very interesting playoff weekend, and I got a lot to bellow about. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Taking Action. I'm Chris Colombo. With us is Anthony Conover.
Hello.
Anthony, how was your weekend?
Listen, relaxed. I built a nice Lego set. R2-D2. Yeah.
Let me tell you, I'm a big fan of R2-D2.
I don't have a picture, but
Anthony
I should show you.
May the Force be with you.
Big Star Wars guy. But yeah. And then watch the playoff games. What's not to love?
Well, I've always thought I was from a
some
planet
things.
far, far away, long, long time ago.
I wish I was a Jedi.
Anthony,
I just want a lightsaber. That's all, actually. I don't care about the
I got
Force
what I
stuff.
wanted a winning season. Okay. And it looked
That
glim
too.
for the moment there. Okay, let's talk about a few things. Okay. Those on the G-Trail, we got out.
You did.
We're ahead. People asked me I didn't pick a game in the last week. I did bet a game, but 2 games. Just for ha-has, a half a unit. I bet under in both games, took the 6 points. Sucker bet, but so we could watch the game. But I think the Lions went over in the first quarter.
Yeah, defense was optional in that game.
All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. What I want to talk about going forward, we will be here for baseball, but not every week. So those that want to see our picks, like I said, as you see, the most dangerous bet to the house is a 2-team money dog parlay. One paid 16 units, the other paid, 12?
Yeah.
That's like 28 bets. Okay, that's what got us out and ahead. I made 2 of them. When they're there, I take them the best I can. They have been there, but the spread, you see, when you see minus 180, it's supposed to be 170. When you see minus 200, it's supposed to be 180. Maybe sometimes even 185. Okay, so the spread they're taking is big, so they're trying to limit why they do it. I mean, that much of a spread is it's ridiculous. To lay 40 and 50% spread, it's supposed to be 10 cents, supposed to be the dime line, it's supposed to be that way in baseball. So most of baseball is money lines, unless you bet the straight run line, which is a sucker bet, or you take a run line with plus or minus. So we stay away from them because then you got to jump 2 hurdles. Okay, why should I take a half a run or a run and lay money, and why should I get a run and lay money? Or 1.5. It's usually 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
Or the straight run line. Then there's the outside line, like when you see 5.5, 6.5, you see in the paper, that's a sucker line. That was a 20% spread. So when you see that money line, it's supposed to be a dime line. So I take it when it's reasonably fair. We were 2 out of 3, right?
Yeah.
And the one that you see me crumple the paper and get mad at, that was the Dallas game. We should have won that game.
That should have been a sweep.
Right. I mean, only the second time in the history of football, something happened ridiculous for us to lose that game. That's what I was annoyed about. I can see if it's a common mistake, like a blocked punt or an interception or a fumble. I mean,
even if they get outplayed,
for the receiver to move away from the ball on a kickoff or a punt, get away from the ball, and one of the blockers runs into it and hits it with his bicep to throw it into the arms of the other team. I mean, that's why you saw me, and usually I don't get upset. Forget the experience, remember the lesson. The 30-yard line has impacted football, would you agree?
Yeah, of course.
Significantly, I tried to adjust to it. We lost 3 games because the best kickers in football missed 4 out of 4, 3 out of 4, and I'm talking about 25-yard
Yeah, I mean,
it's ridiculous. Okay, not pushing the blame. We're out. Those that left the Jewish Rail, you should return.
Link is still in the bio.
What's that about?
So the link is always in the bio.
I'm going to be negotiating now that we're going longer than football season to bring the price down. We gave it a new studio like we promised. The sound is excellent. The editing is excellent. It's not that I charge money. I don't need to go into that whole tirade all over again. I thank those with all my heart that stayed with me, and I was happy I get you out. I told you I never had a losing season, and I wasn't going to start now. And I have many weapons in my arsenal. As we get ahead, that would even be better. If there wasn't those blunders, imagine being up, 16 and 12, 28 units ahead. I won't go by the units on the Jewish Rail because they count the two teams as a unit except in a win, and it's one, and a loss is 2 units. I did bet a couple 3-team parlays because we got the right money. That was the only reason. And the week I went 15 for 15. I had said to Anthony, I'd like to put them all on a parlay. I should have. Those of you that watch the thing, when I bring the price down, you should subscribe to the Jewish Reel, number one, because you'll see my bets. 2 bets we were supposed to buy back this season. We didn't. There was some communication with Anthony. We've overcome every obstacle. This was a test year. And to come out ahead, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, okay? Absolutely.
I wouldn't have been able to sleep. As far as me being a phlegm monster, I agree with that. But I grow polyps, and I have to go and have them. It's been 3 times surgery because I have allergies, and they have to clean them out when they get cancerous. They have to get to a certain point. It affects my nasal system. That's an affliction. But however, I do agree with that humor. It is funny. But what are you going to say after the phlegm is gone? You know, as far as the fat jokes, fat's where it's at. There's more of us to love. And secondly, I lost 41 pounds.
Big fan of eating, so I mean, can't
me
help
too,
you.
But the Lyme and the medication I take for the sinuses, prednisone, blows me up. I got off the medication because I'm having the surgery, and I don't know if the Lyme's in remission or not, but I'm tired of taking that drug. Okay, moving forward. It makes me very uncomfortable, and I sometimes, it makes my temper go. Get a little menstrual over no reasons. My heart goes out to women that have to deal with. Take prednisone, you'll understand. Okay. Anthony's going to give a recap. One thing I'd like to say, a lot of people say football is choreographed. I believe some teams and some games are. If it was completely choreographed, there's too many stool pigeons, rats, informants, people write a book, that kind of thing for it to be. I've said it before. I've come under heat that the Chiefs don't cover, and people came after me. Well, they don't. They're America's sweetheart. I saw it with Dallas under the Tom Landry years, the same exact thing. Every call went their way. Ridiculous things happened. There was no reason for them to take that safety, except that makes it 9, and you lose betting by a half a point. Even if they punt the ball, they get it blocked, there was no time left on the clock.
No.
Okay, so the only reason to do that, I lost respect for the entire Kansas City Chief. They stand behind gambling. They promote it. They billboard it. They should at least care about the gambler. Okay? And I'm not saying play to cover or not cover, but if there's a team that's orchestrated against the spread and our favorites, I would say it's the Kansas City Chief. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I lost respect for Mahomes. I lost respect for Reed, who was one of my favorite coaches. There was no reason for that. The only reason to do that is you don't cover. It's not another reason. So if you ask me, I believe certain teams are given certain courtesies, especially now if the Chiefs played how they're supposed to play, and then all the money was on them. And you heard me say I would not lay the points with the Chiefs, so those were smart enough to take the points. And I really believe it was a slap in the face for those that are now in the legal gaming, which is as much of football as the players.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
Because you have a vested interest in what they do legally.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's gambling commercials every 10 seconds.
I've always believed that there were certain teams that and certain coaches that they did, and along with the refs. And to further prove that the only thing that isn't on the review of the plays.
Like challengeable?
Yeah, challengeable is the 2 longest penalties in the game. Pass interference and
Well, like unnecessary roughness.
Passes,
Roughing the passer.
Like we saw a game. Which game was it? They tackled the quarterback in the end zone to get a safety by his face mask. What game was that?
Oh.
That was recent.
Yeah, it was this year.
That should have been a challengeable offense. And how could they not?
I think it was the Vikings.
Yeah. How could they not be watching the quarterback on a snap in the end zone? The refs. Who else is there to look at? If you're watching the line, here it is. He can only go to the end zone.
Yep.
Now, that in and of itself, who would the Vikings play?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, look it up.
I don't know. I don't remember what week it was.
I think it was the Rams because I like the Rams.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, I think it was.
I like the Vikings rather against the Rams. Originally, I liked the Rams. You changed my mind. Remember, in playoff games, go with the better quarterback and the better coach.
Well, that wasn't the playoffs.
That was the last game for the number 1 seed. Same thing.
Let's see. When did they play?
It was the Vikings. It was for the number 1 to Detroit, was it?
No, the Vikings.
We bet Detroit on that game.
Vikings played the Rams.
Was it the Rams?
Yeah, that was back in, let's see, week 1, 2.
No. It was recent. This happened.
That was week 7.
It was weak. It was the last game the Vikings played before the playoffs.
Well, that would have been against the Lions.
Lions.
I obviously know what you mean, though.
The one against the team with the Rams I picked, and you made me go the other way. All right, moving forward, that's not going to happen next year. My plays will be in soon. That's why the juice reel, if I see a mistake or I see an injury, the reason for the juice reel is we buy it back. Like the Atlanta game against the Rams should have been booked. There was 2 or 3. Anthony misunderstood me. We're usually together every day, but not the weekends because we work together. Anthony's the youngest manager of a $3.5 billion funding firm, and I'm happy to say I mentored him, tutored him there. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Along with my son, I do a lot of work with kids in the financial area to help them, give them my expertise. And the reason for Anthony being here is that when I'm no longer here, because I have a terminal disease, there will be somebody I taught. Okay, and maybe it could continue, but it will not continue like this year. But we will never lose. So those that you skipped out on the juice reel, remember, the other thing is I didn't go into, don't bet 10,000 just because I said it. It's a whole season. Okay, your bet should be 5% of what your bankroll is for the season, and betting the one game, and then we increase in increments when we're up. And it's like blackjack. We lose one, we go back to the original bet, then hit our hot streaks again, just in case. I wasn't able to show that because of the confusion with the juice reel, but money management, like in poker, is important as your cards and your team. There is not a person on the planet that has more knowledge in gambling, but there was so much controversy, I couldn't tell you. Okay, but I'm going to tell you right now, if there was a choreographed, orchestrated game, it was against City Chiefs. It was the only reason to take that safety is that the spread don't cover. There's not another reason. Could you think of one?
No. I mean, they're going to say it was to run timeout, but I mean, there was no time
left
in the game anyway,
right.
Really.
That makes no sense. Okay, moving forward. Okay. Let's go into this week. Would you agree that game was fixed?
Yeah, I mean, at the least, it's fishy. I mean, it's bad when the announcers are talking about it because, I mean, it's kind of like a taboo thing to touch on. But, I mean, the announcers immediately were saying, that's going to affect a lot of people and, things of that nature. So
my opinion is when I did it fairly. People ask me. I did it very fair. Very fair to my customers. The dime line was the dime line in baseball, where you bet the outside line, 5.5, 6.5, which is 110, weigh 120, take back 110, 6, 7, 140, take back 120, 20% spread. So when you see that 180 and it'll tell you what you get on the back, it should be 170, and it's not. So what they want and what they're trying to do is they're forgetting about the people that know what's right in betting and trying to indoctrinate 12, 10-year-old kids into their way of doing it where they don't have a shot to win. That's what we're here to do, to educate you. And don't be ashamed to boycott them when they do this. They'll come down to get the business to what's right. And not that we had a lot of competition when we did it because we were it. It wasn't like you could just pick up the phone and go out. And then when I had my websites, you could. I was the first one. I actually was involved in creating the software that allowed them to make it legal because they had no clue. They couldn't do what we did with a group of people. None whatsoever. They're not smart enough. Administrative expenses would kill them. All right? Okay, moving forward. That's my advice. Baseball's coming on the games where they're not killing us at the spread because you bet and you lose a couple games 40, 50% of your bets are important. You're supposed to give up 10%, just like you do with football, but it's supposed to be a 10% spread on the money line. That's why we only took 3. We should have won all 3. We won 2 out of 3, made us a winner for the season. I had said that consistently throughout. Don't worry, 2 money dogs. They hurt me so bad, I made a rule, and my software only allowed 1 money dog and a 2-team parlay, so you know. It was almost unfair to the bookmaker. I mean, we were getting crucified. All right. So that's what I did. But at least I didn't mess with the odds. Your odds were right. The rules of what you could put in it. What I seen them do with teasers, we like the 3-team teaser. How it's supposed to be 6-5, 120. They were 43 cents, 43%. They were making the chop, and they were coming off the payoff. So you would have to put up 120 to 100, 143 on a 3-team teaser. That's ridiculous. Okay. Moving forward, overall, I really believe that the best teams are in the playoffs. Detroit, the Commanders came on strong. They had a little lull. I'll let Anthony give you the breakdown on it, but let me tell you something. Detroit got off their game. Their defense didn't do what they did. They got them there to blitz and do whatever. They thought they're going to outshoot them, and they did not.
No. I'll just run through the recap real briefly. Obviously not too many games anyway. Texans and Chiefs, we talked about obviously a little bit. 23-14, the Chiefs get the win there. 7 points left on the board by the good old Texans kicker. So once again, coming back to kind of bite them. Questionable calls in favor of the Chiefs too. Obviously,
7 points he missed.
Yes, 7 points.
7. That's a touchdown and a point.
The roughing the passer.
Oh, touchdown and 2 points.
The roughing the passer that Mahomes got. I mean, like I said, once again, when you hear the announcers start talking about things, because usually it's a little. Just let the product speak for itself. But,
and they don't replay it 2 or 3 times.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman was really fed up, which was funny to see that. But yes, the Chiefs will move on to, I believe, their 7th straight AFC Championship.
I don't mean to cut you off, but Troy Aikman knew what it was like to play in the league when they didn't have to protect
actually
him.
Got hit.
Yes. I mean, he's had his head taken off.
Yeah.
I like Troy.
He's a very good broadcaster. I do enjoy them.
He was an excellent quarterback, and he loved the game of football. No controversy.
Though the Commanders and the Lions, obviously, I think most people would say the biggest upset of the playoffs. Commanders 45-31.
I think I said I like the Commanders, but you can't tell with the Lions at home.
Yeah.
And I would never lay. When I say I never would lay, I mean, I'm leaning towards the underdog.
Obviously, very high-scoring game, like we said. 28 points scored by the Commanders just in the second quarter itself. So they were pretty unstoppable. They did to the Lions what the Lions have been doing to most people. Just great game, but definitely.
When I say I would lean towards a game, that was one of the ones I would have leaned in as a bookmaker. I would have lowered the line to push them towards Detroit to get them to lay the money.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by lean.
We go to Sunday. Eagles beat the Rams 28-22. Rams made a nice little comeback with 4 minutes left in the game. It was, basically game, set, match. Saquon had just broke off like a 60-yard touchdown run. It looked like it was going to be over, but Stafford came back. They scored the touchdown, and then they had the ball, in their hands, with like a little bit over a minute remaining, drove down, but on a 4th down, a little incompletion, turned the ball over to the Eagles. They were able to knee it out, and they're on their way to the championship game as well.
They played a good game.
Yeah, no, it was the Rams played an excellent game, a nice snow game. Both of the Sunday games were snow games.
I like their quarterback, and I like their coach very much.
Yes. And then to the game of the week that everybody was definitely speaking about, and it lived up to it. It came down right to the end. The Bills get the 27-25 victory in that one. Technically, they were the underdog at 1.5. I think by the time the game closed, it was a 0.5 point, but still. Which doesn't make any sense because it's the playoffs, so somebody had to win. But with that being said, Bills get the 27-25 win. You know, this was another game that it kind of looked like the Bills towards the end we're gonna be good, or at least at halftime. Ravens came back, played well in the second half, and then you know it comes down to that 2-point conversion. See, this is the time, you know, everybody talks about going for it on fourth down a lot. Bills decided not to for once. They kicked the field goal. They went up by 8. The Ravens went down, scored the touchdown, and then were forced to go for 2 to tie. Mark Andrews drops the ball at the goal line, and I'm sure he will be welcomed back to Baltimore in a quite the way.
I felt the Ravens were the team to beat this year.
Yeah, I mean,
tough combination start, but Jamal was not on his game.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar, you know,
didn't they do a ridiculous something?
No, nothing ridiculous, but you know, he has an interception. He also fumbled it. Mark Andrews had a fumble in this game as well. So I mean, you turn the ball over 3 times in a playoff game, and you know that's the turning point. I mean, you don't turn the ball over 3 times, they're probably ahead in this game with a win. So taking care of the ball is very important. You know, all the teams that had the most total yards in their games lost. Texans had more yards than Chiefs. Lions had more yards than Commanders. Rams and the Eagles. And the
After
Ravens.
What I saw the Chiefs do, and I took some heat from this earlier when I said they don't cover. I think they don't cover.
No, they don't cover.
They don't cover. And I was called out. That's why I don't read the comments anymore. Let's just look at the numbers. Okay. It's on to this week. Yeah, give them who's coming. You want me to do it? I'll do it.
Yeah, you've been doing it.
All right. Well, I'm used to a few games. All right.
Just 2.
Commanders at Eagles. Eagles up to 4.5, went to 5.5. The total's 48. Commanders proved they could win on the road. Yeah. I like that Eagle team. I like Saquon. I like everything about it. But I'm going with the Commanders on that game.
Yeah, I mean, they played a few weeks ago. Commanders did get the win in that one against the Eagles. So
Don Shula said the toughest thing to do is beat a team twice in a season, but I think they're going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, one of them, they were 1-1 against each other in the regular season, so somebody's going to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And Commanders showed me a lot.
No, Jane Daniels has been unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this one.
I think it's pretty safe to say he's going to be rookie.
Yes, yeah. I would believe so. I think it's a safe bet at this point.
Okay, so if you want me to be clear, I do like the Commanders. I don't normally bet playoffs, but when I do, it's 2 money dogs in a parlay. It hit first. And,
yep.
I mean, I took the 2 dogs in the wild card, and they were serious, you know, over 3-point dogs. Paid off. I did one, I think, during the season, too. And I started with the Giants, and that was disgusting what they did. Okay, let's move forward. Bills at Chiefs. Opened up a pick 'em, went to 1.5 Bills. I like the Bills, but here's what we're going to be bucking. They're America's team now. That game, there's no doubt that they did that so they don't cover the spread. We got to keep that in mind. Every penalty went their way. Every penalty against them didn't go there. It was just, I tell you, I was ashamed to be a known gambler. KG, that's on my record.
It's a typical Chiefs game.
Yeah. It was, I don't want to go that far, but they showed their colors to me. And without the people that go in the stands, without the people that are betting on them at home, I mean, what do they got? So I am vehemently a Chiefs boycotter. Taylor Swift putting up political positions. I don't believe in that. I'm not political. However, the Italian American Civil Rights League is back in action. Mike Crispy, Roger Stone, Donald Trump is supporting it. I just gave a speech at the Christmas party. They're against fake media and things that are being saying wrong against all minorities, just Italians, or making people look bad and the stuff they put on TV. So my heart is with them as long as, and my loyalty. And I'm not prejudiced, but because I am Italian, I love Italians. There are no bad Italians except the stool pigeons. They're not human. But I love all people, but especially our people. And anytime, any place, I will do anything for the American of Italian descent. I'm happy to see the league back in action. My father's happy to see it. I'm happy to see that Donald Trump is supporting it. And I'd like to say to Mike Crispy and Roger Stone, good luck and God bless. They're there for the people, and they're going against Sammy the Bull under the, I wouldn't call him Italian. Serial killers are not Italians. Informants are not Italians. They should not. They're not Christians on anything. He's shown no remorse. He killed a 15-year-old kid. He got 5 years in jail, which he never did a day. He testified. He's a vehement liar. You've seen him not attack him, but tell the truth about him. I think I called him a couple of things. I don't curse. But we must protect the people against these people. He's actually abused and said publicly things against the family. They took their loved ones, and he's trying to profit. He's been a profiteer from it. I don't think anybody that hurts people should make money for it and rub it in their face. I would say he's the Antichrist, but he ain't that smart. But I would say he is pretty much the right hand or the buttocks of the Antichrist. And sorry to get political, but it's not political because one day that could have been my 15-year-old or your 15-year-old. To kill an innocent boy, there's no reason. Okay, moving forward. I said the things I have to say. Anthony, I think we've shaken the problems out of our system. Other problem I have with Anthony, he likes to do things at the last minute, which is going to end. So wise guys get their bets in early. If we have to buy them back, we do. Okay, give me a promise. Pinky square on the show.
Oh, yeah.
All right? And don't talk me off any of my gut feelings.
Yeah.
With those statistics. You can take those statistics and stick them, you know where? Not on you. With Sammy the Bull, because it's fake news. Listen, if we went just with what I said originally, where would we be now?
Good spot.
Real good. I lost with you, but we are up for the season. It was a learning. It's the stepping stone and the foundation, I believe, to something big. We're going to take a shot at baseball. I suggest you lower your increments from football. It's a low season. But let me tell you something. When I hit them with them 2-team dog parlays, you only have to hit 1 out of 4 to make money, which I proved, and good money. I know what I'm doing. That's where the statistics will come in baseball because it's a more statistic-based sport. And when they go on runs. So Anthony's forte is the Yankees. Nobody knows more about the Yankees. Well, maybe my brother. Nah, not even him. Nobody but God knows more about the Yankees, so makes him knows about the teams they play. And I have my handicappers coming in to help with the baseball, too, that have helped me in the past. Let's see how they do. I will be bringing the price of the juice reel down. You got to remember, it was only supposed to be for 18 weeks. I didn't have much negotiating. They didn't know that they were talking to a person with longevity. So either they'll change it or I'll find someone else. Okay, and I have time to do that. Because our original thing, but remember, the reason for the juice reel, so you don't have to leave those things. It alerts you. Keep your alerts on when I bet, because I may buy it back. The confusion made me not buy back teams because I didn't want to buy it back, and some people still had it. But I'm going to tell you, next season is starting now. It's my money also, but I care about yours more than mine. But it got to the point where I might have not won this season. Not putting any blame. Forget the experience. Remember the lesson. The lesson is that juice reel has its purposes. It's not for money. It's not for anything. And now that I have my foot in the door, even though it hurt that some people pulled out, I don't have as much negotiating power, but I'm here. And those that got off the bandwagon, come back. If you think you're just going to bet $100,000 each game or mortgage your house, that's the things we're trying not to do. Start out with 5% of your bankroll, and we'll go up in increments. Just so you know, I didn't do much of money management because there was too many complaints on how to get to the juice reel. It was 7 weeks in. Or it takes me 3 hours to put a bet in. I mean, I'm not reading any comments. Write all you want. As far as the firm, I'm having the surgery. What am I having? We didn't set it yet. I didn't want to do it because I would have missed 3 weeks of commentating because I couldn't sit here with all bandaged up and bleeding on you. I mean, I could, but it would have been disgusting.
I'm all right.
You missing that?
No, man. We'll be all right.
All right. It was a winning season.
Yeah.
It wasn't for those that pulled out. That breaks my heart. And if you're smart, jump in for baseball because that's where we're really going to kill them. And it may not be a bet every week. If it's not there, I'm not pushing it. Okay? Every week is different. Like 1 week it was there, I gave 15 picks, somebody stood up.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, and the people that complain they're not on the juice reel, you got the best of it because my percentage, betting multiple games, farly exceeded my percentage last year. I think I had something like 90% in multiple games. It's ridiculous.
Parlays have been good to us.
Yes. But the way to bet is singular games and the two-team money. Don't parlay when it's there. That's what I plan for. Anything you want to say here?
No. I mean, let's find out who's going to play in the Super Bowl.
Well, listen, I know they're underdog, the Bills. I know they're going to go against bad calls. And I really believe that game with the Chiefs was fixed. And I believe that the number one team, America's sweetheart team, Taylor Swift, Kelsey and everything, can't cover games. They don't do it. I hope the Bills kick them back to Kansas City. Hard.
Me too.
And I hope Reed retires because it's disgusting what they did. I think I made my point clear, right? You people put your money up, right? You put your faith in me. I came back. But from anybody to intentionally fix a bet, that's a sin. That's the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not fix a game. No, it's the truth. It's terrible. I would never do that. Now, can I get information? Yes. Do I get information from different sources? Yes. There's nothing wrong with that. Information's everything. But to fix a game is not right. It's almost like releasing the toxic waste or biological warfare. It's no good. It's horrible. It's toxic. I'm ashamed of that team. I dislike that team. I want to vomit on that team. And to tell you the truth, Tom Brady never threw a game.
That's my goat.
Well, I don't know if he's the goat or not.
Goat.
He was in it to the fourth quarter no matter what. And when he did play him, he played. Terry Bradshaw never did that. Roger Staubach did. Fran Tarkenton never did that. Joe Marino never did that. And God knows you can't accuse the Giants or the Patriots. They should have tanked that game to get the number one draft pick. But I have more respect for them giving up a number one draft pick than what Andy Reid did in that playoff game. And my honest opinion, the game of football is too good for him. I coached, 31 years at every level but pro?
You would know more than me.
Well, your team played me.
I didn't play.
But it was your school?
Yeah, we sucked.
Well, that's why I beat you 64-0.
Well, yeah. We went defeated my senior year.
You should have had me as a coach.
I don't know if the apostles could have saved us.
Football is running, tackling, throwing, running. Teach the basics. The Commanders are well coached. I like them this week. I'm with both underdogs. I'm staying away from totals. I didn't do too good last week, even kidding around. When you see me bet a teaser, it's for fun, half a unit. But I hail the Commanders. I hail the Eagles. I hail the Bills for getting there. I hail the referees. And I'm like, if they should flag that team. Running into that was unsportsmanlike conduct, hurting the better. You know, I used to take the bets, but I never took a side. I put a line out. People came after my money. I didn't go after theirs. But to do that was wrong. It was very wrong. Okay, Anthony, anything you want to say?
Nope.
Think I beat the drum too much?
It's been drummed on.
Yeah. I beat a dead horse, right?
It's dead.
Only that horse is alive and running in the next thing. Let me tell you something. Go Bills.
That I can agree
Who
with.
mentioned this might be the Bills' year, eh? When you said the windows were shut.
I know.
I liked Bills this year going all the way. I said that. And my quasi underdog was Green Bay.
It's true.
Yeah. And I had more hopes for the Browns than they did. Those are the three teams I mentioned. But I did key on betting with them and against them. Yeah. And they worked out okay for us. You got to remember, sometimes I bet against teams that are not doing well. Anything you want to say?
No.
Okay, I'm leaving for Florida. I'll be back for the next, thank God it's 2 weeks. I want everybody to have a happy and healthy Super Bowl. But there's still the game coming between it. So next week in the playoffs, I'll be back to do that show. And the following week, and I believe we're leaving with the office for Florida for a month. Ready?
That is the plan.
Okay. So we may or may not have a recap of the Super Bowl. If we don't, we will be here for baseball. In negotiations with the Juice Reel now. I'm putting together a baseball. Anthony sharpening his things. What are we not going to have, though? No more last-minute stuff, right?
No.
Promise?
Never.
Pinky promise again?
No, we did.
No. Let's do it again. All right. We cut our hands into that blood brother shit, but who knows what we got? All right. So just to be safe, I like both dogs this week. And Josh Allen, I believe, should be MVP, either him or Saquon.
Of course.
A round of applause for Buffalo.
Yeah, let's go, Buffalo.
Come on, Buffalo. Let's go. Let's stick it right to them after what the Kansas City Chiefs did last week.
Do us all a favor, please.
Do us all a favor. Put that team out of our misery.
Yeah, literally.
Let me tell you something. When you intentionally tank, I do that so people don't cover their bet. I mean, that's disgraceful. Who knows what little old lady needed the money in?
This is true.
It's the truth. Poisoning the minds of children. Let's go forward. Thank you. This is Taking Action. It's Anthony Conover. Sorry, I was a little emotional, but let me tell you, you got to live when the ball rolls the wrong way. A kicker misses. An interception happens. Things only happen twice in football. 4 field goals missed. Well, when you do it on purpose, bothers me. I mean, not winning on purpose. And it wouldn't have bothered me if they went the other way and went for a touchdown with 3 seconds to cover the game. That don't bother me. Even if you like the dog, it doesn't matter. They're supposed to play football. They're not supposed to play, let's shave a line. Actually, what I think should happen is like the longest yard. I think they should go to jail, put together a football team, and let Andy Reid, Mahomes, and Kelsey play for a prison system.
Big fan of that movie.
Yeah, me too. Both of them. The one with Burt Reynolds was good, too.
I've only seen the Adam Sandler one.
Yeah, watch the Burt Reynolds one. That's why he played, what's his name, the Heisman Trophy winner. He was originally, yeah. I don't know like Cal Reddy at all after the offer, but great movie. 2 times around. The one with Burt Reynolds is my favorite. Adam Sandler did a decent job, as Adam does, and thus is football. Any given Sunday, you can win or lose like a man, but cheat is no good. Any words you got to say?
See you when we see you for the Super Bowl.
Okay.